Okay, elephant in the room. I've been completely MIA on YouTube, and if you follow me on Instagram, I have not been active there either. And I think it's probably time I owe you guys an explanation for that entire thing. So truth be told, the main reason that I've been completely inactive on everything is I've had my head down working really hard on a project that I've actually been working on for just over 2 years now. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me post about this top secret documentary project that I've been working on, and it finally got a deadline, so I had to get cooking on that edit real quick. I basically spent 6 weeks just with my head down working anywhere from 8 to 14 hours a day just trying to get this thing done because there's just so much footage and it is a very large project, so I'm extremely burnt out. Now, the good news is that it's finally done and it'll be coming out very soon. I don't actually know if I can tell you what it is by the time this video comes out, but it's essentially the entire writing and recording process of the new album from the band Archspire. If that was censored, I'm sorry, but there is other good news that I definitely can tell you. Now, if you were listening carefully to that last part, you probably noticed that thing about how I'm working hard for 6 weeks, 5-6 days a week, 8 to 14 hours. There's only one way that I'm actually able to do that amount of workload on anything. And you're probably already ahead of me here, but I quit my job. After 5 years of doing video work on the side as kind of like a hobby thing, then slowly expanding it out into a side business and getting more income from it and all this kind of stuff, we've finally gotten to the point where I can quit my day job and just do this full time. All I've really wanted for like the last 15 years, even before I was doing video in any form, was just to work for myself and to work independently and not have to answer to other people. I don't care if that meant that the job didn't pay that great or whatever. I just wanted the freedom that came with that. That goal of being self-sufficient and being able to do things my way seemed so far off just a few months ago that I'm still kind of in shock, and it honestly hasn't fully sunk in that I'm at a point where I quit my day job and I never have to go back to that because I have enough video work supporting me. So essentially, as of a couple months ago, I'm officially doing something that I'm passionate about. I'm making more money than I did at my day job. I get to set my own hours. I get to set my own rate. I don't have to ask anybody for time off or ask somebody for a raise. I get to set what I'm worth. And ultimately, I get everything that I wanted out of that goal of just being independent. So what does work look like for me now? It is going to be a little bit different. I'm still going to be running my business, shooting music videos. That's not going anywhere, and I still want to pursue that. I'm loving it, and it's going very well, so that's still going to be a part of it. On top of that, I'm still going to be doing the YouTube stuff as well, and I'm probably going to be doing that more heavily now that I have the extra time to manage that a lot more hands-on. But lastly, what made this whole thing possible to actually make that final jump financially was the extra income from doing editing work for other YouTubers. I've landed a couple steady editing gigs with friends of mine who are also YouTubers and YouTubers within the sort of music sphere and space that I come from. So it's something that I'm very familiar with. I love talking music gear and guitars and all that kind of stuff. So it's a place that I feel comfortable with. It's still very much in line with the other video stuff that I'm doing in music, and it's right at home for me. So between shooting music videos with my own business, editing videos for other music-related YouTubers, and that little bit of income that comes from the YouTube stuff that I do already, I'm all set. I'm already making more than my day job was, and now it's just a matter of pushing it as far as I want to push it, and that's really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes of all of that. Now, we all know big life changes come with big financial commitments, and sometimes they're not even necessary ones. Sometimes you just like to buy yourself toys to celebrate. So that's why I bought a lot of stuff. When you're working at home full time, you need a good workspace that helps you get that work done. So I've made a lot of purchases on that front, and I thought this would be a good time to do a full workspace and desk tour. And frankly, this would not be a video if we didn't talk at least a little bit about gear, right? However, I think it would be a bad idea to do that without first saying thank you. Some of you know this, but the majority of you don't understand that every single like or share or referral or positive comment about my work, all of those things ended up in one way or another turning into a positive result for me on this journey. If I had to thank every single person that helped me on this, it would be impossible. There's not enough hard drive space in the world for the length of that video to live on. In short, just know that yes, of course, success does come down to hard work and consistency, but we can't have a conversation about success without acknowledging the support of others that help you get there. And I know that there's a ton of people who have contributed to that, and I just want to say I want to thank you all equally for the small or large roles that you have played in that. Thank you so much. This is awesome. I'm very excited, and I could not have done this without you. All right, enough of the sappy garbage. Let's get cheap and materialistic for a second, all right? The first thing we need to talk about here is the desk, because this was sort of my congratulations gift to myself for finally achieving this point. This is an autonomous smart desk core. It's a fully motorized standing desk that allows me to go from working seated to working standing in just about 10 seconds. Over the past few years, health has become a real priority for me. And even though I work out regularly and I eat well and I do my best to take care of my body, I still struggle with a lot of low back tightness and pain because I do spend so much time sitting. I had to go through stretching routines multiple times a day just to keep that low back tightness at bay. And ever since I got this desk, I've been able to go days and sometimes even weeks without any issues whatsoever. And now that whole stretching regimen is so much less necessary. It is a night and day difference. Not only that, but I feel way more focused when I'm standing. I'm just one of those people that if I'm standing up, I feel like I can focus better on the task at hand, and my body just goes into that mode of like, hey, we gotta be ready. We're doing a thing now. We gotta be ready to do the thing. And I just feel so much more focused. I feel like I have to be ready. It's on. Massive shout out to my buddy Quinn for recommending this company. I was looking at a lot of different standing desks, and I'm very, very happy that I specifically went with the autonomous. I'm happy with this purchase, and more importantly, so is my body. All of my video work is done on my custom built PC. I built this back in about late 2018, and it was my first time building a PC. And let me tell you, I could not be happier after switching over from Apple for my video work. I know a lot of you guys are jumping at your screens right now, but I'm gonna save that very controversial topic for another video. In my defense, I still rock a MacBook Pro as my daily driver for most of my non-video editing needs. All right, so just don't come at me. The main specs are that it's an i7-8700K processor from Intel. It has 32 gigs of RAM, and I managed to get a Zotac RTX 3060 graphics card. I was very lucky to score one at retail price and avoid the scalpers, all thanks to my friend Kim, who has eagle eyes and was checking like every listing in the local area for me. So you're a champ. It's got a 500 gig SSD for booting and all my programs and any of the video projects I'm working on at that given time, just for the sake of speed. And then I've got two internal hard drives that are each 4 terabytes for long-term storage. I've also got a 2 terabyte external drive, and that is for, I'm not gonna lie, it's mostly games. It's 100% games. Now, for the longest time, I only had a cheap, crappy pair of headphones just because I never bothered to get any speakers or anything nicer. But since I had to do that documentary project, and because I'm doing a lot more YouTube editing that involves more sound mixing, I needed to get a nice pair of cans. So these are the Sennheiser HD6XXs from Drop. These are fantastic. They're very neutral sounding and a great price, but I did find out the hard way that if I wear these for 8 to 14 hours a day, working on a documentary project, for example, I will get massive, massive headaches, like just debilitating, especially because I'm wearing my glasses underneath and it's just crushing my tiny little head. This led me to finally cave and get a pair of desktop speakers. These are the Logitech Z207s, And I don't need anything fancy because I'm most of the time just trying to check audio levels and general compression and things like that. I don't need crazy studio monitors or anything, so these were a perfect bang for the buck. For the basic controls, I've got a custom mechanical keyboard at the helm, I've got a Logitech mouse, and at some point, I'm gonna be getting one of those Stream Decks because I have discovered the wide world of macros for video editing, and life is so much better. Everything is much faster now. But that's a purchase for the new year, and we're gonna wrap this up by pointing out the most important piece of equipment on this desk, which is of course my PS4 controller. Listen, if I'm rendering, I got nothing to do, I might as well play games. The monitor is just an old Samsung, I believe it's 32 inches. I'm not even gonna look up the model number because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's 4K, but it is not good for color grading. It is the most red monitor you have ever seen in your life, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to recommend it to anybody. But it is 4K and it does get the job done, so for now, I'm gonna hold off on spending a lot of money on a calibrated monitor and just do my best with this guy. All this stuff is fun, but it's all just to make the act of producing videos much quicker and much more efficient, which is the goal so that I can make more of them. But that's gonna wait until the new year. I'm gonna take some time off. I'm not working for a couple weeks. I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna enjoy this accomplishment. I'm gonna enjoy this change that I've made. And most importantly, I'm gonna spend some time with family and play a lot of video games. I hope you feel a little bit more caught up, and I hope we've answered any questions you might have about what's been going on. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys a lot more in the new year. For now, I'm gonna take this break and I'm just gonna enjoy it. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and take care, and I will see you in the new year.